Hey, what's up, everybody? I just want to share some answers that I gave to in a recent radio interview. Uh, if you saw that over the last, I think they said the last year, over 10 million people have registered new business in the United States. 10 million people. So congratulations to everyone who's looking at, you know, becoming a business owner and going out there and wanting to make your dreams come true through the creation of your business. And when I was when I heard it, the first thing that I started seeing on the internet and in different blogs on YouTube is that people would start to talk about why that most businesses are going to fail, that 95% of them are going to fail within the first year. And then that when you do more research, it says that the remaining 5% that are still in business, 4% or a little over 4% are going to fail within 5 years. And so when I did the radio interview, it was like, okay, they were asking me questions about stuff like that. And I was like, well, and so I picked three of the ones that to kind of go over with you, where I think that these are some very good ones, because this is what, when I talk to people, when I see people in business, or when I look at my failures and things that have happened to me, these are some of the misconceptions that I see a lot with people. And I would say one of them, and I didn't even write this one on the sheet here, one of them that is like a total misconception. When people start their own business and they've worked for a corporation, worked for somebody else, one thing that they seem to leave out is the creation of business. Like they make the business, so you create the company, but they never think about, how do we create the business that's going to feed the company? How are we going to bring customers to the company? And so when they get into the business, they make a website, they get everything in order, and then all of a sudden they don't have any customers. And they're wondering, why can't I make it? And then they start to, they had hoped that family and friends would support them, which is like, I forbid you to make this mistake. Don't ask your friends and family to support your business. Don't ask your friends and family to support your business. I'm not even going to elaborate on it. If you do that, you're setting yourself up to fail. So don't make that mistake. Because you worked for somebody else, you maybe wasn't in that department that was bringing those customers into the, like introducing people to your company's product or service. You might have been in a department where you were shipping, or you were putting everything together. Maybe you were in the graphics department. Maybe you were in the content department, but you didn't know how they were getting the customers to your department. Like, who was the one that was bringing the business in? And so they don't understand the marketing. They don't understand the sales. And so they get frustrated because they're like, I did everything. I've seen people build like the best restaurant, and they were like, I can't survive because I don't have enough customers. And that's because you did not understand that when you started that business, you also started another business. What business is that? You're in the marketing business. Even if you get someone else to do the marketing for you, you are still in the marketing business, because you have to do certain things to make your business work in conjunction with the marketing that you're doing. And people don't seem to put those two together. Another thing that I talked about in the interview is that too many people still in today's world, even worse than when I was coming up in business, but I think it's always been around, is that people quit too fast. Like if they don't see success right away, they quit. And I think that one of the things that you could do to not quit is to really do something that you want to do. There's the old saying, pick something that you would do that you wouldn't get paid for, but you better pick something that if you get paid for doing it, that you get paid good money for doing it. Because then you can end up finding yourself doing something that you love and you can't even support yourself. And that's the worst situation to be in. But don't think about just because it's not working right now that you would quit. If you put everything in place, the marketing, business, everything that you need to have in place, and you work that plan, and your product is priced right to where you can survive, you would be okay if you just stay consistent. The other thing is this fast food mentality where people just think that it's got to happen overnight. This get rich quick, get rich in 30-day type mentality. That's why so many things work right now where people say, hey, create content and you can get rich overnight, go viral. You can get rich in real estate. You can get rich online, get rich with Amazon, get rich with all of these types of things. From my personal experience, this is when it's get rich quick. I can tell you that you can get rich quick, but it's not the way that you think. Like when you figure out a formula, when you have a formula that you can follow step by step that has worked for somebody else, and you take all of your fears, all of your anxieties, all of your preconceived notions, all of the stuff that, things that you do and don't believe that you could do, and you just follow something, you can get rich very quick. The problem is that a lot of people, we have all this baggage, and depending on where you were born, raised, how much money you have, all of this type of stuff, it'll hold people back from being able to be successful. So I don't personally, me, I like the word get rich quick, but I don't like the mindset that it can put us into when you think about it. Because get rich quick, what's the time frame? What's quick? Quick could be 1 year for one person, 10 years for another person. I would believe that if one thing that I know from personal experience, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get rich. The day that you know and you feel that you're rich, you won't even think about the time that it took you to get there. So maybe it should be get rich quick, but work hard and long and smart. And when it happens, it happens. That's the new title. The next thing is a lot of people think that it takes money to make money. This was something that I learned when my wife and I started our first business. It does not take money, quote, like a lot of money to make money. Really what it takes is creativity. Let me give you an example of something that we did. This will blow your mind. When my wife and I started our publication business, we didn't have enough money to even make a sample. And we actually had the audacity to draw it out on a notepad, a yellow legal notepad. And we said, our advertising publication is going to look like this. Now, if I was to walk into your business and I have a legal pad and I drew out what the magazine is going to look like or the publication is going to look like, would you laugh at me and say, get out? And guess what? Some people did. But there was something that we I would say accidentally did back then, but we do on purpose now, is that we just had focused on our goal, what we wanted to do for ourselves and what we wanted to do together with each other, and what we wanted to do for our family that we were raising. That we had to change something, like no matter what. We didn't have money. We had to save our money to even do get the computer equipment. And back in 1990, computer equipment was very expensive. It is not like it is today. But I could tell you, using creativity, we were able to self-finance the publication by doing it this way. We went out and sold the advertisers. From selling the advertisers, we said, don't pay us right now. You can pay us when we produce the publication. We convinced the printers of the publication that we would pay you the week before we printed the next publication. So that would give us time to put out the publication, time to go back around to the advertisers and collect the money, and then time to pay the printer, and then we would just start the whole cycle over again. 33 years later, millions of dollars to where our printer would get paid in our highest time period up to $5,000 a week is what we would pay to have our publication printed. And so from starting something very small with very little money, using the creativity to be able to, in a way, self-finance our way, the creativity, the persuasion of convincing advertisers that, hey, the business owners, this is what we're going to do for you. They saw what was in it for them by having us circulate their business across the city that we were in. And then the printer, hey, if this works out, they're going to be a very good customer. So we paid that print shop. We're still with them, millions of dollars. And a lot of these businesses are still advertising with us, 33 years later. So you can see that it took creativity, not to say that having money wouldn't have made it easier, but I'm just saying if you're starting and you're having that thought in your mind that you don't have money, so you're not able to do it, use your creativity. Maybe you have some money, and then you're able to utilize a way of using your creativity to get the other stuff done that you need to have done. That's if you don't have access to capital. And if you have access to capital, make sure that you do things the right way so you don't end up like a lot of the businesses that end up closing up. Even though they have money, they end up closing up because they didn't utilize the money the right way. I think that going through that made us utilize the money that we had the right way and made us even stay more focused on making sure that we paid our printer so we were able to keep printing our publication. They also asked me about some of my biggest failures. One of the first biggest failure that I had a whole bunch of little ones, but the first ones that cost me a lot of money was a real estate deal where I had purchased a duplex and I just was not ready. I was 26 years old. That whole deal cost me roughly about $35,000. This was a long time ago in the 90s. And then I had another business failure that was over $1 million with that failure. And I ended up having to settle that debt. And I settled that debt for $43,000. The real estate was just a loss in foreclosure. Had messed up my credit at that time. And so with both of those, let me tell you the crazy thing that happened from failure created opportunity. Number one, I learned that with real estate, you don't do real estate unless you're going to really do real estate. I've done real estate since then and have made hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit. And even a building that I have right now is worth over $1 million that I have and I owe no money on it. So I learned with the real estate that you gotta want to do real estate, and you gotta know what get educated and know what you're doing. And from that mistake, it helped me make money when I got back into doing real estate. And then with the business that it was over $1 million loss, I ended up doing a settlement on all of that debt for $43,000 to settle all of the debt on that business that went bad. But the thing that I learned on that was during the process of settling that debt, it's helped me with another company that I own on helping people to settle debt. So I'm actually making money with my employees with that company, teaching them what I went through with this, and we're helping thousands of customers all across the United States that are having debt collectors like really trying to garnish their wages, freeze their bank accounts, all of these types of things. So I've made way more than $43,000 back. And I've learned when I was going through that process, the laws, the different things that debt collectors can and cannot do. It was like a $43,000 education that I paid that has made me millions of dollars with another company that I actually own that actually helps people with these issues with debt collectors. So I wanted to just let you know this was some stuff that I talked about in an interview. I'm going to be posting that interview very soon. Hey, thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE.